Pretty much invented the mid-size MPV category back in the 90s with the original Megane Scenic, so it's a pretty safe bet that the latest car is going to be ideal for families. Before I get in, I want to show you this, because the picnic tables are recessed into the seat backs, which means that you don't bang your knees on them while you climb aboard like you do on some other MPVs. Now what I'm going to show you now relates to both the 5-seater Scenic and the 7-seater Grand Scenic, because we're going to talk about the middle row of chairs. You can slide them forward to increase the already massive boot space, or backwards for more legroom, and as you can see, there's plenty. Headroom's pretty decent as well. You can even recline the chairs if you like. There we go, to make yourself more comfortable. And you're probably wondering, what about this centre seat? Because while the car has a flat floor, there's this big box in the way. Well, don't worry, because you can actually slide it forward, and then you'll see that the person in the middle has plenty of room as well. The final thing I'm going to show you is this. The front seat folds down like that. The Scenic is really spacious here in the front as well, and there's lots of adjustment in the driver's seat. I mean, look how high you can jack it up. You can almost get vertigo. Look, there we go. It means even small people will be able to see out, which is good. Quality is impressive as well. There's soft touch materials everywhere in this cabin, and I like this full colour display. I mean, analog dials, they're so last century, aren't they? And you can even change it to suit your preference. As for other standard equipment across the range, well, you get air conditioning, all-round electric windows and cruise control. Renault has become synonymous with safety over recent years, and the Scenic and Grand Scenic are among the highest scoring cars on the Euro NCAP safety tests. It also comes with lots of safety kit. For instance, you get intelligent front airbags which deploy depending on the severity of the accident, side airbags and curtain airbags, plus there's ESP anti-skid control to prevent you getting into an accident in the first place. So then, what's this big Renault like to drive? Well, it's pretty much like a normal car actually. Despite being tall, it doesn't roll about at all in corners, and there's plenty of reassuring grip. Now you can thank the firm suspension for that, but don't worry, it's not too firm. The ride is still comfortable, and so too are the seats. And I particularly like the big curved windscreen, because it's a bit like you're watching the scenery go by on your own personal cinema screen. The Scenic is available with a good choice of engines, including a diesel which is capable of up to 57 miles per gallon. But you're probably wondering, Matthew, isn't it time to talk about the bad points? And yes, indeed it is, because the Scenic does have a few. For instance, the glove box is a bit titchy for an MPV, and you don't get any useful clever stowage areas up on the dash like you do on a Citroën C4 Grand Picasso. Perhaps the biggest problem though relates just to this, the Grand Scenic, because its rear seats aren't as clever as those on a Peugeot 5008. For instance, it's a real palaver to get into the back row. You have to fold the seat back down and then tumble it forward, and then when you get in, you'll find that if you want any kind of knee room, you have to slide the second row all the way forward, and then there is enough space. The seats are also a pain when it comes to carrying loads. While the rears fold flat into the floor, the second row don't and have to either be tumbled forward or removed entirely, which, take it from me, is a bit of a painful process. What's more, you're not left with a completely flat load bay either, as there's a big recessed area. But before all that puts you off, I must point out that the Grand Scenic and the smaller Scenic both undercut their rivals significantly on price. And overall, this Renault represents great value for money motoring for families.